You are watching Melody Lane. With me, you're gonna have a great crafting time.
Hey everyone, it's Melody Lane. Today we're going to be working with Scrapbook Overlays. So here's one that I designed in Cricut Design Space. And Cricut Design Space only cuts 11.5 by 11.5, but this is on a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. So I'm going to be showing you how to do that today. So you can put pictures underneath this. You can cut your pictures to be circles in these sizes. Put them underneath this layer, and then this will kind of frame them. You can also add words. You could add your name here. You could add congrats. You could put happy birthday. You could add words to this part. I'm not going to show you how to add the words today, but if you want to see that, put a comment below in the video, and I'll do another video on how to add the words. And as a perk for supporting me on Patreon, all of the people who support me will get this file and the files I'm going to show you in this video, along with hundreds of other files I already have in Cricut Design Space. So let me take you over to the computer, show you how to make your own, and then I'll show you how to put it on the mat and how it all works. Okay, I'm starting with a brand new project. As you can see, I'm signed in. And I want a 12 by 12 canvas. So I'm going to go over here to the left to set canvas. And I'm just going to click on basic shapes. If you've never used the canvas, there are tons of canvases that will help you with all different kinds of things. There's even scrapbooking ones. But we're just going to use a square today. And this is a 12 by 12 inch square. You can change the size and the shape all over here, and you can see it's 12 by 12. We can make this any color we like, although maybe it would help if it was another color for you so you can see it. Let's just do green. Okay, this will not cut out. There's nothing to hit go on. We have no images. This is only for us to measure with, only to look at. Okay, now we're going to insert a shape, a square. We are going to make this one, let's just go over here to edit, 11.5 by 11.5. As this lock is still locked, I'm going to type in 11.5, hit enter. It changes it all. Okay, now the first thing I want to do, because I don't want to cut out a 11.5 by 11.5 inch square, I want to keep some of that there, but that's the biggest it will cut. So we're going to go to layers. We're going to change this to score. And as you see when I cut this out, I don't actually use a score tool. It just pretends it's scoring. We lie to it. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball this and put it in the center of the 12 by 12. The 12 by 12, this green here, will be the paper that I lay on my mat. I'm using a 12 by 12 paper, but the Cricut doesn't cut that big, so we're not going to be cutting it. So now this we use as a line. We cannot cut outside of this line. There's so many overlays you can do. I'm just going to show you maybe a basic one and show you how to align the squares so they're perfect. Let's insert shapes, and you can use any shapes you want. You can use anything. Possibilities are endless. Okay, let's put this up. And maybe you can't see that on this green. I'm going to go back to canvas. What color would you be able to see that gray outline? You can see it better with that. Okay, let's use pink. It's not as angry as red. So I'm going to make this a little bigger. I'm going to duplicate it. So we go to the layers panel, go down here to the bottom, click duplicate. Let's just do that a few times. I will be duplicating a lot in here. Okay, these look like they all fit, but I'm going to change them. I want a little bit wider border, so I'm going to make them just a little smaller. Now let's duplicate again. Now, if you wanted a wider border around the outside, you could add another square inside that, just like this one. I'll show you that in a minute. I'm going to align these. These are not even or straight or anything. First, let's distribute horizontally. That'll separate them so they're evenly across. See, now there's an even space between them. Now they're all still selected. Let's go ahead and align them. I just like to align top. Now they're all even. If we want to repeat these, I'm going to go ahead and attach them together. Now I can click on them, duplicate them, and add another row. I'm going to put one down here at the bottom. Do this so we can see it all. So I'm just going to line that up. We could select these both. I'm going to hit my Command key and click on the other one. So they're both selected. You can see over here. And now we're going to align left. Doesn't matter if you align right or left, just to make sure they're even. So now they're even. Now I want to duplicate these again. So I'm going to click over here on Attach Set and click Detach. So they're by themselves again. I'm not going to move them. So I'm going to put a box here and here. And first I'm going to align these two. Let's align left to make sure they're even. Let's detach this one. So now I'm going to put a box around these four and I'm going to distribute vertically. There. So now these are all even this way. Now I'm going to select these two in the center. I'm going to duplicate them. And I know they're even with each other. So I'm going to bring them over here. I put them off a little bit so I can do this, select all those. This time I'm going to align left. To straighten those out, select them again and distribute vertically. Okay, they all look pretty good. Now let's insert another square. And this one's going to go right in the center. Okay, and I'm going to drag a box. So I'm going to hit Command and select this one too. So I have these three selected right here. As you can see over here in the Layers panel. And I'm going to align top. Now, if this is what we want, we could put a box around it all or click Select All and attach them. Now, we also attached the score line one. Now let's see what happens when we hit Go. There it is. Now you think, well, I don't want all those squares. I want the other part. If you can see, the score line is not going to be there. It's going to be invisible because we're going to lie to our Cricut. So what you see here, all of the pink, that is actually what we're going to have to cut out. That's our final project. Okay, we're going to duplicate this. Let's change the color of this one. Do a darker green, but not an ugly green. Okay, so now these are exactly the same. That's not what we want. Okay, I'm going to detach these and I'm just going to select the score line and we're going to duplicate that because now we want a bigger border. So we need a smaller score line to go inside the other score line. And we're going to drag these out. Okay, let's bring the score lines down here away from all the other images. We're going to select them both. And we're going to go up here to Align and just click Center so they're right inside each other. And we're going to attach them. So this outside line is where this border is. That's 11.5 inches. And use this as a border. So let's make them smaller. And I'm going to move this over here and line it up with the square there. There we go. Distribute horizontally. There we go. And these you just have to put over one by one and you can line them up. You can put it closer so you can see better. Corners are easy to line them up with the corner there. And I don't know the size of any of these things. Let me check that for you. The center one, I'm going to bring that to the top. This one needs to be a little bigger. I'm just going to eyeball that one. So I'm going to align these again. Because I have the bottom layer all completely attached, it's only going to drag these on the top layer. So let's align those to see what happens if we distribute horizontally. Don't know if anything happened. Let's align top. I'll move these over so I can align these to the right. Align right. Those all look pretty good. Let's distribute. horizontally. Go over here. Align left. Distribute vertically because they're up and down. And that looks pretty good. So I'm going to select these. I'm holding down my command key. I think it's the control or shift key on a PC. And I'm going to attach these. Okay, now let's hit go. Uh-oh, we forgot to attach the middle one. This one. And click on all those and click attach. So now you can have 2 layers if you want. This does take a lot of work, but there's so much you can do with it. And I will give this file also to the people who support me on Patreon. It's just one of the perks they receive. And we're going to save this before we lose anything else. Okay, let's save it. Oh, and you know what? Let's see what it looks like over here. You can do these separately, like you can have this as a layout and just have thick borders. So the pink that you see is actually going to be what we cut out. I know it's kind of hard to imagine. This darker green is going to be the bottom layer. So it's going to be the opposite, because see the space between the 2 green ones? That's how wide that will be. See, this one has much wider. So this one will be the bottom layer. So the wider border here will be the bottom layer. The skinnier border will be the top layer. All right, now let's go cut out my other one and I'll show you how it works. I'm going to cut out a 2-layer scrapbook overlay. Yeah, 2 layers. Now you have to be very careful of how you put the paper on the mat or it will not work. So you take a 12 by 12 piece of paper. This is Cricut paper. All this paper I'm using today is Cricut paper, along with the black was even Cricut. And you have to be very, very careful of how you put this on the mat. You want to line it up right at the corner. So make sure that corner's lined up and then follow it along the side. This looks like it's gonna be good. Okay, we got that in right. So now we're just gonna load it in the machine and the machine's gonna do all the work for us. Okay, now I'm gonna load the mat. Now the computer is telling me to load the scoring stylus. I'm not going to do what the computer says this time. I don't want it to actually score. I only added those score lines to put the placement so it'd be in the center of the 12 by 12 paper. Because Cricut doesn't cut 12 by 12, only 11.5 by 11.5. So let's hit go. And it thinks it's scoring. This might seem like a waste of time, but it's much better to let the Cricut know where to place everything than us trying to place it on the mat. So on this one, it's going to score it twice and then start cutting, because this one, we made it a little bit bigger of a border. All right, so once this is done, I'm going to take this out and show you the 2 layered mats. Okay, now let's start peeling this off. Just go around the edges and be really careful. There we go. So now this is another overlay, and we could also put words inside here if you wanted that to say something instead of adding pictures. But we have 2 layers to this one, so let me cut out the other one and we'll put them together. And now you have a lot of great scraps. You could use all this on different projects, so don't throw these away. So here are the 2 layers. It might not always turn out perfect. It depends on how you put the papers on the mat and if your papers are perfectly 12 by 12. I haven't glued these down, but you would just glue them down to each other so you can have 2 layers. And if I was going to put words down here, I would just use words with only one of the layers, maybe the bottom layer, so then it's in another color. This would be so cute with a word in here of a child's name, or maybe summer, and these are pictures of summer. The possibilities are absolutely endless. If you guys like this video, please like and comment below. Tell me you want to see more. I'll do more if you guys want to see them. And here's a shout out to a few of the people who get perks for supporting me on Patreon. Jennifer, Donna, Linda, Luann, Sandra, Dee, Donna, Fern, Heather, Devona, Michelle, Gail, Robin, Lori, Lisa, Cindy, Tracy, Patricia, Lynn, Misty, Tracy, Janice, Joy, Sue Ann, Melissa, Janet, Nancy, Stephanie, Jerry, Michelle, Carla, Denise, and Lydia. Thanks, guys.
You are watching Melody Lane. With me, you're gonna have a great crafting time.